The experience system of record is the center of gravity in your organization that brings together your experience data, content, and unified profile. So I want to walk you through what we at Adobe see as the key pillars of an experience system of record. And we're going to go deep, so buckle up with me for a few minutes, and we're going to geek out. It's going to be worth it, but stay with me. The first pillar of an experience system of record is something that we sometimes refer to as a data lake. Establishing a data pipeline that collects and centralizes all this data coming at you. And we all know that this volume, variety, and velocity of data is one of the defining challenges and opportunities for business today. I mean, take a moment, just think about all the different parts of your business that are producing customer data. Your loyalty program, your CRM systems, your commerce systems, not to mention all the behavioral data, every impression, click, and IoT interaction. And on top of that, you may not just have one of these systems. You may not just have one CRM system, you might have 4. You might not just have one ad server, you have 3. The complexity is crushing. And the trillion-dollar trick is connecting all of this disparate data together at speed to create a unified profile. One that knows your customer and respects their privacy. And today, this is one of the most expensive and resource-intensive aspects of many of your jobs. And yet, it's just the beginning. Because getting all of your data into one box, that's actually the easy part. The second pillar is turning all that data you've collected into something useful. We refer to this as semantics and control. And I know what you're thinking, Brad, it's way too early in the morning to be using such sexy words, but stay with me. Because you take just one seemingly simple example, the same individual may be referred to as a customer in your email system, a member in your loyalty program, a visitor in your web analytics system, and a cookie in your ad server. They may not just call this individual by different names, but may actually see this individual as 4 different people. There needs to be a common language connecting these systems. And in addition, some data requires special labels like PII, sensitive, or contractually limited data. And not all the data that you bring into your systems can legally be used the same way. 4 letters that will impact all of us. GDPR. Speaking of which, how many of you in your organizations are ready to recognize an inbound web hit as coming from Germany and be able to treat that data differently? These are not easy challenges to solve if you're dealing and using legacy systems. Stitching all this data together can take months, if not years. And without semantics and control, your data lake starts to look like a flooded swap meet. That's why semantics and control is where we see the majority of big customer initiatives fail, topple, and why it's so important to get this step right. Now, the next pillar is where the real magic happens, machine learning. And if you are lucky enough to have data scientists doing machine learning on your team, I want you to stop by and ask them a question. Ask them where they spend their time. And I'll make a Vegas bet with you that they're going to say they spend 80% of their time on the steps we just talked about. Getting the data together, wrangling that data, stitching that data, and cleansing it. Getting it ready for them to actually do the PhD level work that they were hired to do. And when you speak about machine learning and AI, it's important to be specific, because oftentimes we hear about broad use cases like predicting the weather or the elections. That's not what we need. What you really need is an experience-centric machine learning framework that focuses on things like attribution analysis, customer segmentation, audience scoring, and journey prediction. These are the fundamentals of the experience business. And what you need is to be able to operate in a world where a potential customer might be seeing multiple ads across multiple devices and in a matter of minutes, and you've got to be able to interpret that information in milliseconds so that the next experience on the website or in the app is consistent. This is where the unified profile and capturing the totality of the consumer's experience with your brand across your marketing systems, sales, support, and product development should all contribute to that unified profile, but also have access to it in real time so that it is constantly refreshed and built for real-time action. Because the goal of everything I've just discussed is more informed action. It's doing something meaningful with the data and insights that you've worked so hard to gather and organize. This right here is the beauty of the experience system of record. It gives us the ability to ingest, govern, learn, and act on data to ultimately delight our customers. But this is only half the story, because this action requires content. Great experiences are informed by data and always paid off with content. Content needs to come into the experience system of record through its own content pipeline to onboard, to ingest, and accelerated through content workflow that manages how it's accessed, all the way from the creative brief to the design prototype and the completed campaign, and all of the content variations in between. And machine learning comes back into play as well to increase content velocity by automating processes like auto-tagging, cropping, image recognition. The culmination of the experience system of record is the ability to design, measure, and optimize these omni-channel customer journeys and experiences that deliver hyper-local personalization that learns more every time we interact with our customers. So there we are. The experience system of record, it's a lot to take in because we're talking about high volume, high velocity data and content and letting you act on that in under 100 milliseconds. This is what modernizing your technology looks like. It unlocks the opportunity for all of us to become experienced businesses.